Every question has a cost. Every question has a cost. There may be no such thing as a stupid question, but there are definitely expensive questions. Hi, I'm Jason Seiden of Brandstorm. Let's talk about handling ambiguity. I think handling ambiguity may just be the most underrated communication skill and leadership skill, for being real about it, in business today. Years ago, I used to do this little presentation. I was invited to be part of the orientation process for Kellogg's MBA program. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to do it, but here's the deal. I don't want the full hour. I only want about 15 minutes, but I want the last 15 minutes before the break at the end of the day. And I'm going to share with you what I shared. I actually was having a conversation about this presentation this weekend, and I went looking for a video clip of it, and I can't find it. So I'm going to share it. I'm going to share the same thing that I used to share with Kellogg MBA students right now. I'm a little more gray, but I promise you the message is as relevant today as ever. In fact, I have received remarkably little good advice in my life, and I think I've probably given less good advice than I've gotten. But this, I think, hits the sweet spot of things that I've managed to share with people that they found helpful. And so it goes like this. I would stand in front of the room and I would ask the students, hey, let's say you get an assignment from your boss and it's not totally clear. What do you do? And there'd be some confused looks, like, is this guy for real? This is a no-brainer. And eventually somebody would say, I'd ask for clarity. I said, that's great. Right? Like, don't have the right instructions. I go and I ask for clarity. Who agrees with that? And pretty much every hand would go up. And then I would tell a story, right? Let's flash forward a few years. You've graduated with your MBA from Kellogg. You've got a huge new job. You've been promoted into an even bigger job. Your company is growing, and thank goodness it's growing, because you're burning from both ends. You're completely overwhelmed. There's so much work to do. You need to hire, and because you're growing, your company is growing, and it's super sexy, and it's an exciting place to be. You can afford to recruit from places like Kellogg. So in comes your new recruit straight out of Kellogg, and you give them an assignment, and you're so appreciative that you can hire really smart people because you're moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. All you have time to do is give them the parameters of what you need, and then you need them to figure it out. Use that brain of theirs, figure it out. And so they turn around and they go, and they start there's a knock at your door. Here comes your Kellogg MBA. They need some clarity. Excuse me, I know you said you needed this by the end of the week. Do you need it Friday morning or Friday afternoon? Because I've got plans to go out Thursday, so I'm not sure if you need it Friday morning or if the end of the day. Actually, and if it's the end of the day, like, do you really need it for Monday? Can I have the weekend? Marketing has some information that might be useful for this. Did you want me to coordinate with marketing to include their information, or should I just use the stuff that you gave me? Oh, and in terms of formatting, will this be shared with a client or with a customer? Does it need to be formatted for external use, or is this just for our team? Are you And at some point here, you're looking at this person, you're like, I need you to figure this stuff out. So what's the point of the story? Well, for the students, the point of the story was that probably about half the education they were going to get from the classroom, and the other half of their education they were going to get from outside the classroom, and they were going to have to figure out what that is. The lesson for you is that the way in which you deliver a message or ask a question or seek clarity matters. Every question has a cost. Every question has a cost. There may be no such thing as a stupid question, but there are definitely expensive questions. Questions that lead other people to look at you as somebody who needs things, not the broad parameters where you're going to figure it out, but needs things listed out. You need to be given a tactical set of tasks in order to get things done. There's questions that cause people to look at you as somebody who freaks out with ambiguity, who they can't trust to go delegate. Every question has a cost. So when you are seeking clarity, which you need, you don't have enough direction to do the job, I get that. You have to think about how you're going to go get that clarity, and understand that sometimes the cost of asking a direct question is more than you should be spending. If you think of it that way, then you go, okay, well, if I can't ask a direct question, or if I don't want to ask a direct question, how else could I do this? Well, you could certainly ask a peer, somebody who's done this kind of stuff before. You could go look for a model, something, has this type of assignment done before? How was it done? That's the easiest way to do it. Another way to do it is to send a note to your boss saying, hey, I know you wanted this assignment done for the end of the week. Here's the deal. I'm going to plan to have it for you end of day Friday. It's going to be formatted for a customer, and I'm going to be including information from marketing. If I don't need to do that, please let me know ASAP. It would make my job a little bit easier. Great. You go to the end game. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the biggest, the most robust version. Dial it back. Tell me if I can dial it back. You could take the opposite approach. Hey, you gave this to me. I know it's in a rush. I'm going to get a draft to you Thursday. It's going to be formatted internally. It's going to just have our own department information. I'm not waiting on marketing to get me their stuff. And and just tell me if I'm on the right track. You could take that approach too, and then you buy yourself a day and a half to get the right formatting in there and plug in some information. Those are two alternatives that you could use to go get the clarity you need, where you're still taking initiative, you're not incurring as much cost as asking a direct question. So I hope that's helpful. I'm Jason Seiden of Brandstorm. If you like this stuff, subscribe, hit the notification bell for weekly updates and communication coaching minutes like this one, and I'll see you next week.